Good morning. Been a good week. Since the 23rd of September, a nice £375.67 profit. If we're looking at yesterday alone, it was, I think, yesterday being the 26th, about an 84 quid profit last night. And that is with £40 stakes, £84 and 2p. So how did this work yesterday? Varazdin and Vukovar. Vukovar newly promoted, vulnerable, score first, take out the insurance, match odds for Varazdin. I had to wait for them to win the match because not dealing with the biggest profit. Schalke and Greuther Fürth, all down to the in-play stats. Schalke absolutely bossing this match. I decided to lay over 0.5 goals to cover that 0-0. I'm looking for Schalke to score first. Schalke score first because they were utterly dominant. There was no shots on target for Greuther Fürth. If they score first, the draw odds will drop, and I've got a good chance of getting a profit greater than that £10 loss there. I kept this in. Why? Because I fell asleep. That's the honest answer. No, it's not. I fell asleep a bit later on during these matches. Don't forget, plus 6 hours for me. So that's a great profit. And we've got an option always when you've got a very strong favourite. You can either lay the draw at 0-0 or favour the favourite, which I did on this occasion, all down to the in-play stats. Lokomotiv Plovdiv, RKC Valve Canadio Den Haag, laying over 1.5 goals, cover the insurance. What I did in this particular match with Den Haag, you keep, it's down the bottom here. What I did with this match, this was at 1-1. I decided to negate my liability because it was one of those lower leagues, the first division. And I left it. I left the profit on Den Haag and woke up to that. So absolutely delighted. They've obviously got the winner there. So let's look at that. That's the winner there for Den Haag, 25 quid. You can see just very small gains adding up to 84 quid. Only from a handful of matches. So it's about what you pick. Dundalk and UCD actually made a loss on Dundalk last week. So it's a bit ropey against Longford. But I had an in-play stats check on this occasion, and that gave me a little bit of confidence. Another one I stayed in, or rather I fell asleep. At 1-1 was your first cash out. I fell asleep. They made it 3-1 before 3-2. So good stuff. So that was yesterday. So as you can see, it's been an excellent week. Who couldn't do with an extra 375 quid in the back pocket? That'll get you in this modern day. What's that? A packet of hula hoops and a lollipop, I think. 375 quid in modern Britain. Looking on to today, and I've done a whole heap of pre-match AI research, which I'm going to try to get to you in some way, maybe on a single page just with the links, so you can pick and choose whichever match you want. So that's something for me to work on today for members. The research is pretty good. I've asked AI to look at the matches where there's odds on favourites, and in matches in leagues I wouldn't normally research as well. So you've just got that added bonus. It's great to have an opinion that you can bounce off, and some potential trading angles that AI provides from a purely statistical perspective. So it's unemotional. It's just reading what it sees, which it's a kind of research that I like. Not putting in your personal opinion, but looking at what it says on the paper. What do the stats tell you? Looking on to today. Busy day. Going to be a live stream. youtube.com/@football trading profits, getting a few visitors, which is excellent to see. So I hope you can come along. As you've just seen, I'm in excellent form at the moment. I need to make money because I was scammed at the start of the year. So this is an important part of my income generation. So you're going to benefit from it. And every single Telegram call I place real money on. So I feel the pain when some clown misses a penalty for you to make 120 quid in the last second of a match. I feel your pain. Let's have a look at today's matches. And the Champions League is the main story. It's pre-Champions League. Get to know these teams because one or two of these are going to be cocking things up. Pre-Champions League under the special one. Benfica winning 2-1 only yesterday. Very, very poor performance under the special one so far for Benfica. 1-1 and a 2-1. But it is pre-Champions League. And I've starred the pre-Champions League matches to just beware, particularly when they're playing away from home. Oh. Let's hope that truck leaves. What I would look for today would be to take on these odds-on favourites at as low odds as you can get. So if they're leading, they might be vulnerable, particularly away from home, and particularly coming off the back of a 5-5 for Club Brugge. Union St-Gilloise odds on at home should deliver, but it's pre-Champions League. And particularly sides without much strength in depth like Union St-Gilloise might struggle, as will Copenhagen, no doubt. Croatian HNL 1 League, a couple of odds on favourites worth following. You saw Varazdin yesterday getting us a profit. So I can't dismiss the Croats. Sparta Prague or Slavia Prague yesterday in the Champions League. Not Sparta, but their odds on away. Copenhagen in the Champions League and have had a real trouble in domestic football recently. Conceding first, El Nesri rested, in all sorts of bother, having to come from behind to get results. 4 Champions League sides in the Premier League today, so be careful, particularly playing away. Banana skin for Liverpool against unbeaten Crystal Palace. That's going to be a fascinating battle. But likely Liverpool 90th minute, Mohamed Salah winner, blah, 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 blah. Man City and Burnley. Scott, interesting Parker with his lovely cardigan, is going to be putting a 9-man defence up and likely to be losing quite heavily. Erling Haaland is in exceptional form at the moment. I don't know what kind of value you get about any-time goal scorer Erling Haaland, but the boy is in wonderful form. Nottingham Forest against Sunderland is a bit of a difficult one to unpack, with Ange Postecoglou still setting his stall out for Forest. Sunderland not at their best on the road. Pre-Champions League for Tottenham Hotspur, with Thomas Frank's side looking a lot more accomplished than under Ange. Wolves, their new manager, is finding all sorts of bother. Problems scoring, losing. Championship, League 1 and League 2, I've starred odds on favourites only. I've tried to do the research for them, so I'll be passing that on to you. Odds on favourites in League 1 and League 2. The only real angle in I've got, because they're so tough to trust. Premier League 2, goals. And moving on down, French Ligue 1, Monaco. Le Champions League for them. And Le Champions League for Marseille. Le Champions League for Paris Saint-Germain. So we've got a lot of French teams in the Champions League and playing today. So be careful. Paris Saint-Germain and Monaco. Toulouse odds on at home. Lots of odds ons at home. Good news for me as a trader. Bundesliga, Dortmund in the Champions League, Leverkusen Champions League. Got a 3-3 against St. Pauli against Dortmund. So this could be both teams to score with the goals before half-time. Leipzig are not in the Champions League. Frankfurt are. Another one of those away teams in the Champions League could be vulnerable. Dortmund, Leverkusen, St. Pauli, Frankfurt, all away in the Champions League. That's your banana skin. Greek Super League, Olympiacos involved in the Champions League. So they might be vulnerable today at 1.17 odds. Could be finding Levadiakos tough to score against, that kind of thing. Como against Cremonese looks a banker for Cesc Fabregas against newly promoted Cremonese. Juventus and Atalanta both involved in the Champions League, along with Inter Milan. So this is particularly vulnerable for me. Away from home, pre-Champions League, under new management, who are a bit green. Shivu in the Champions League. Juve Atalanta, it's a derby-style match. It's not one I would trade, but the last time Juve had a derby-style match, that ended 4-3 against Inter Milan. And that's 2 consecutive matches Juve have scored 4 goals in. So we're probably going to see a second half avalanche, or this could be the Marseille 1, PSG 0 kind of a derby. You just don't know. Ajax Champions League, PSV Champions League. Be careful, particularly away from home. But likely the gap in class is far too telling for these two. So it is all about the Champions League. Sporting Lisbon involved in the Champions League as well. They are yet again away from home. And these teams in Portugal, they've been doing a lot of their getting out of jail in about the 85th minute plus. Sporting Lisbon's wins recently coming late. Benfica wins coming late. So that might be a pattern for you to follow if you're up very, very late this evening. Depending on how I do today, I might still be up for this one. We will see. Scottish Premiership, well, no European problems there. Borat's boys getting rid of this lot. Hearts at odds on, well worth following for me today. And follow the market. It's been a good clue in the SPL. La Liga, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, derby style match. Great to watch, not to trade. Pre-Champions League for both of these two as well. Both of these two, Villarreal and Atletico Bilbao, are in the Champions League. So watch out, that's going to be difficult to unpack. Atletico Bilbao in all sorts of trouble. They look great watching them, but they're just blunt in attack. Their recent loss 2-0 away at Valencia was down to a red card. So ignore that, because they absolutely bossed Valencia from start to finish. But very difficult match. And that's it really for today. You will see a live stream at youtube.com/@football trading profits. The live section here. And if you like these green screens, you can see I put my money where my mouth is. I follow my own plays. 230 quid since the 24th. Since the 23rd, £375.67. The vast majority of that, as you can see on the football, I just tinker now and again. I'm trying to solve horse racing trading. Greyhound trading I can't do because it's lacking liquidity. There's gaps in prices. Horse racing, I need to know the angle in. Football, red cards change games. Underdog scoring first, change games. 0-0 at half time, possible. Change in the odds second half. Horse racing, what is the market move? They don't have goals. They don't have red cards. They have front runners, and that's a trading angle for some. It's called dobbing, double or bust, where you're trying to look at front runners, backing them pre-match, and then cashing out in play. But football is where it is for me. I can't even replicate this kind of form with the tennis, which is very frustrating. So I'm sticking with football, and it's this narrow focus which has transformed my betting account. And this was all the profits from yesterday. So what I do, I take out all of my profits and I put in enough stake for anticipating 2 or 3 trades moving forward. Because I want to see the money. It's of practical use for me now, since I was hacked at the beginning of 2025, had all of my savings gone. So this is a practical requirement, and it goes a very long way in Thailand, that's for sure. So if you like these green screens, have a go. We've got a 14-day free trial. That's for the e-letter, which I'll be doing today. What are we going to be discussing in the e-letter? I can't find the 2025. Sorry about that. But if you want to have a go, you can see all the green screens. There it is, 2025 offers, 14-day trial. So if I can replicate this in the next 14 days for you, then you're going to make yourself some money, get a free trial. If you don't fancy continuing, then we'll say goodbye. But I'm here to make you money. I'm here to make me money. And I make me money by following my own tips on Telegram, because they're very good. So there's the trial, 14-day free trial. Have a go if you fancy it. Live stream at 2:30 p.m. I hope to see all of you there. And watch out, members of footballtradingprofits.com. There will be a library of reports for you in some page. It might be in the blog page. So if you're a member, we'll have the blog here, and I'll make it members only to view the AI reports. Have a great day. Let's hope that the curse of the Champions League doesn't affect our decision making too much. It's just something you've got to be very, very wary of. Some of these sides are going to slip up today, particularly those playing away from home, and for me, particularly those sides who have shown a capacity, Copenhagen, for struggling pre-Champions League. Inter Milan, possibly. Leverkusen under new management, possibly. Liverpool away at unbeaten Palace, possibly. So see you from 2:30 p.m. I'll see members from 12:30. The Chinese Super League might be worth following. It was certainly worth following yesterday. Shanghai Shenhua. So sometimes Shanghai Port. Sometimes you just take the pre-match odds and you go with it. And there was clues in this match. The market wouldn't let Shanghai Port's odds get too short, get too high, even in the 85th minute at 2-2. So there are some plays there. Have a great Saturday. I will see members of footballtradingprofits.com from 12:30 on Telegram. I will see anyone who wants to come along for a live stream. If you want to see me making money or attempting to make money on a Saturday, then come along to youtube.com/footballtradingprofits, and there's a 14-day free trial if this green appeals. Let's hope for a profitable Saturday. I'll see you a bit later.